Hey, I'm Joe Prinzo from Team Buffalo Outdoors. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the dreaded October lull, one of the most challenging times of the hunting season. But don't worry, I've got some tips and strategies to help you stay successful during this tricky period. Let's break it down. What is the October lull? The October lull is a phenomenon many hunters experience in October. It happens around mid-October when deer movement seems to drop off and hunters notice fewer sightings during daylight hours. Where's all the deer at? Well, they gotta be somewhere. This can be frustrating, but it doesn't mean the deer are gone. They're just adjusting to the early season pressure and changes in food sources and weather. The key to success, understanding their behavior and adapting your tactics. During the lull, deer shift their focus. Early in the season, they were feeding on soft mast like apples and acorns. But by mid-October, food sources change, and so do their patterns. And we're gearing up for the rut. You want to scout new food sources like cut cornfields, fall food plots, or even browse areas where deer are feeding on natural vegetation. We're not at the pre-rut stage just yet, but deer tend to move less during daylight hours. So focus on areas closer to bedding is key. This is also time when midday hunts, like the 10 to 2, can be surprisingly effective. If you could find bedding areas and set up on the fringes, you might catch a buck moving during daylight, even when morning and evening movement slows down. Another major reason for the lull is hunting pressure. Deer can feel the impact of increased human activity, and then they react by becoming more nocturnal. To combat this, you need to focus on low impact entry and exit routes. Use terrain feature like cricks, ditches, or ridgelines to get in and out of your stand without alerting deer. Staying low key is key. What I like to do is, if you know your terrain, don't lose your light so much. Don't be blaring through the woods like there's high beam and everything. If you have to use the light, cup it. Cup it and bring it down so you could walk safely or try not to even use it. Also limit how often you're hunting the same stand. The more pressure you put on a spot, the more likely deer will avoid it. Try rotating between several stand locations to keep the pressure low. Now more than ever, playing the wind is crucial. Deer might be moving less, but when they do, they're on high alert. You can't afford to be careless with your scent control. That's why we use dead downwind to control our scent. And we make sure we're downwind of the deer. Make sure you're setting up your stand downwind of where you expect deer to move. Wind thermals also play a big role during this time of year. In the mornings and evenings, cool air sinks into valleys and draws your scent down with it. Take that into account when you're picking your stand location. I always check my wind direction with a wind checker and a hunting app like HuntStand. And of course, the Weather Channel, which also makes me pay attention to the weather. As we move through October, bucks start becoming more territorial as we transition into the pre-rut. This is a great time to set up mock scrapes to get bucks interested in the area. Bucks will use scrapes as a communication tool, and setting one up in the right spot can draw them out during daylight. Not only is it important to check your buck scrapes, but I always like my scrapes on a licking branch. I got several over the years of deer reaching up and hitting that licking branch. Use a scent tripper that mimics natural deer scent, like Rackgetter's Rack Grope. Place it in your trails in areas where deer are bedding or feeding. You could also use doe estrus scent sparingly, like Rackgetter's Hot to Trot, to get bucks curious and move in your direction. Don't overdo it. Just a small amount can be enough to get their attention. The October lull requires patience. It's easy to feel discouraged when movement slows down. This period is often when the mature bucks are outsmarting less experienced hunters. By sticking with your strategy, staying low impact, and focusing on food and bedding, you increase your odds of success. Remember, the rut is just around the corner, and deer are gearing up for that transition. Don't get frustrated. Use this time to refine your approach and stay focused. To recap, here's what you need to focus on during the October lull. Number 1, find changing food sources and scout deer bedding areas. Number 2, use low pressure tactics and rotate your stands. Number 3, always play the wind. Scent control is non-negotiable. Number 4, try using mock scrapes to get bucks curious. Number 5, be patient, stay flexible. And remember, the rut is coming. If you found these tips helpful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and let us know in the comments what strategy you used during the lull. Best of luck on your hunts this October. I'm Joe Prinzo from Team Buffalo Outdoors. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.